Rorik was a Norse like us, but there the similarities ended. He was without honour and had tried to capture us in his port. He then pursued us as we left to make the journey east. He was desperate to defeat us. The Allfather would not let such a man defeat us. Håkon laughed. No one would dare to say that, Jarl Dragonheart, but it may be prudent to avoid returning there. Rorik rules, and at the very least we would be cheated. Why go there anyway? We all looked at Aidan. The young Hibernian was something of a Galdraman. When he spoke, he was worth listening to. He read well and had spent every spare moment when we were in Constantinopolis examining objects and books in the many libraries there. My warriors had spent their time drinking and wenching. Carry on with your thoughts, Aidan. They are normally worth listening to. We know that we do not have good trades there. They rob us, and we only went there for convenience. They are pirates, and they only act as middlemen for others. We need to ask ourselves, what is it that we need? Weapons? Aidan shook his head. No, Håkon, one eye. For Bjorn Baxaxon makes weapons which are now as good, if not better, than the Frankish ones we used to buy. We can supply our own iron ore from the lands of the Saxons. We need not weapons. He was right. We need pots for cooking. We know that they make good ones in the land of the Franks and the Al-Andalus. Aidan nodded and looked at Josephus. Then, do we know of a port close by where we could trade gold for them? Aye, Olisipo is a fair port, and they trade with the people of Britannia. It is a few days up the coast. Aidan seemed pleased. And what else do we need? He smiled. Not want, but need? The question perplexed me, for I needed nothing. I had my weapons and my armour. We had plenty of gold. That seemed to me to be enough. Håkon, too, looked lost for words. Aidan, however, had the answer. We can grow rye and oats in the land to the north and south of Windesmere. That is not enough for our farmers, for most of our land is not suitable for crops. It needs animals. I come from Hibernia, and there we prize cattle. Why do we not get a good bull and a cow? We could use the lowland for those. He grinned at Håkon. I know that Håkon One-Eye enjoys his meat. That is true, but we have more land which is higher up and only suits sheep. Aidan shrugged. Then trade for better quality sheep with finer wool. This all made sense. You have spoken wisely, Aidan. Where would we trade for those? Gweneth. It is the land of those who fled Britannia when the Romans left. I was suddenly interested. Did they not return to Rome? Josephus shook his head. No, they live still with the same language as the Welsh and the Cornish, and they have a small part of the land of the Franks, which Charlemagne cannot get his hands on. This was getting better and better, for Charlemagne had closed his ports to the Dane and the Norse. It was weird. And what would we trade with them? Gold? No, Jarl. The spices. They are more valuable than gold to those who have not access to Charlemagne and his trade. I looked at Aidan. Well, Galdraman, is there anything else? He smiled. No, Jarl Dragonheart. For myself, the gold and silver we have been given by the Emperor is more than enough. When we reached Olisipo, it looked like an African port. There were many dhows amongst the larger traders. We were the only longship, and we attracted much attention when we entered the harbour. The men had taken their shields from the side to show that we came in peace, and no one made any threatening moves towards us. Had we seen this city first, it would have seemed exotic, but we had visited the most exotic city on earth, and it just seemed interesting. Although Aidan and I had some Greek, we took Josephus with us. He had been a sea captain for many years and could speak many languages.